This is why your attempts to connect with women aren't working. No one's told you this yet, but the truth is, everything you thought you knew about attraction is wrong. If you've ever wondered why things just don't click, even when you're doing everything right, stick around. Because today we're diving deep into the one strategy that could change everything, being direct. Alright, let's get into it. We've all been there, stuck in this frustrating loop where it feels like no matter what we do, we're just spinning our wheels, getting nowhere with women. You send that text, wait for a response, try to read between the lines, but somehow it always ends up the same. Frustration, confusion, and let's be honest, a lot of wasted time. So why does this happen? Here's the hard truth. Everything you've been taught about attraction and dating is outdated. We live in a world that glorifies playing it cool, keeping things ambiguous and relying on signals instead of words. But here's the kicker, none of that works in the long run. If you really want to build meaningful connections, you've got to stop dancing around your intentions. You need to be direct. And I know what you're thinking, but won't that make me look desperate? Won't I come off as too strong? That's exactly what we're going to tackle today. I'm here to show you why being direct isn't just the right move, it's the only move if you're serious about improving your relationships with women. We're talking honesty, transparency, and most importantly, respect. Section 1, the myth of the nice guy and why it's holding you back. Let's start with a concept that's probably been drilled into your head since forever, the idea of being the nice guy. Now, don't get me wrong, being kind, considerate, and respectful are all great traits. But here's the problem. The nice guy approach, as is often practiced, is fundamentally flawed. It's all about indirectness. You're trying to be the guy who's always there, always agreeable, always avoiding conflict. You think that by being constantly available and never rocking the boat, she'll see you as the perfect partner? But let's be honest, how often does that actually work out? Here's the reality, women appreciate kindness and respect, but what they're truly drawn to is confidence and clarity. And let's face it, the nice guy approach often lacks both. When you're afraid to be direct, to state your intentions clearly, you're not being kind, you're being evasive. And that's a huge turnoff. It's like trying to win a game without ever taking a shot. Sure, you'll never miss, but you'll also never score. Being direct doesn't mean being aggressive or disrespectful. It means being honest about what you want. It's about saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm looking for, and I'm confident enough to put it out there. It's about valuing yourself enough to be straightforward and not hiding behind niceties in the hope that she'll eventually figure it out. Section 2, why fear of rejection is your biggest barrier and how to overcome it. Now, let's address the number one reason most guys avoid being direct, the fear of rejection. I get it, rejection sucks. It's uncomfortable, it stings, and nobody likes to be told no. But here's something crucial to understand. Rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's just part of the process. Think of it like surfing. Every surfer wipes out. It's inevitable. But the ones who get back up, who learn from their falls, they're the ones who eventually ride the waves with confidence. In dating, rejection is just like that. It's part of the learning curve. The more you face it, the more you understand what works and what doesn't. And trust me, every no brings you one step closer to a yes. Here's the thing, when you're direct, you're taking control of your narrative. You're not leaving anything up to chance or misinterpretation. And yeah, sometimes it'll lead to rejection. But guess what? That's okay. It's better to be rejected for being authentic than to be accepted for pretending to be something you're not. And the upside, when you are clear and direct, you quickly filter out those who aren't interested, freeing up your time and energy for those who are. Let's dig deeper into this. Why is rejection so scary? At its core, it's about ego. We take rejection personally because it feels like a judgment on who we are. But here's the reality check, it's not. Rejection is simply a mismatch of needs, wants, or timing. It's not a verdict on your value as a person. To overcome this fear, you need to shift your mindset. Instead of seeing rejection as a failure, view it as a necessary step toward finding someone who truly aligns with you. Every time you're direct and face potential rejection, you're building resilience. You're learning to stand tall in who you are and what you want. And that, my friend, is incredibly attractive. As Section 3, clarity is key, how directness differentiates you from the rest. Let's talk about clarity. In today's world, where everyone's trying to be mysterious, playing it cool, or waiting for the other person to make a move, clarity is a breath of fresh air. It's rare, and because it's rare, it's powerful. When you're direct, you're not just setting yourself apart, you're showing that you're someone who knows what they want and isn't afraid to go after it. Think about it from her perspective. She's likely used to guys who are vague, who beat around the bush, who are too scared to just say what they mean. So when someone like you comes along and says, "Hey, I'm interested in you. Here's why it's not just refreshing, it's intriguing. It makes you stand out from the crowd. Clarity shows confidence. It shows maturity. It shows that you're serious and that you respect her enough to be upfront. You're not playing games, and that's a huge deal. Women are tired of the games. They're tired of the endless back and forth, the mixed signals, and the guessing. By being direct, you're eliminating all of that. You're saying, here's where I stand, and I'd love to know where you stand too. But here's the crucial part. Being direct doesn't mean being forceful. It doesn't mean you ignore her boundaries or pressure her into anything. It's about clear communication, not coercion. It's about saying what you feel in a way that's respectful and considerate, but still confident and unapologetic. Section 4, the fine line between directness and aggressiveness. Alright, so how do you walk that fine line between being direct and being aggressive? This is where a lot of guys trip up. You want to be clear, but you don't want to come off as pushy. The key here is to focus on your delivery. Being direct is about honesty, but it's also about respect. You're sharing your feelings, your intentions, but you're doing it in a way that's mindful of how she might feel. You're not making demands, you're making your case. There's a big difference between saying, I like you and I'd love to take you out sometime, versus you should go out with me. The first is an invitation, the second is an imposition. Tone is everything. If you approach directness with a sense of entitlement or expectation, it will come off as aggressive. But if you approach it with openness and a genuine interest in her response, it comes off as confident and respectful. The goal is to communicate clearly without making her feel cornered or pressured. And here's a pro tip. Listen as much as you speak. Being direct isn't just about expressing your thoughts. It's also about being open to hearing hers. When you're direct, you're creating space for honest communication. You're saying, this is where I stand, where do you stand? It's a two-way street, and the more you listen, the better you can respond and adapt. Section 5, practicing directness, real-life examples and scenarios. Let's get practical. How exactly do you go about being direct in different situations? Let's break it down. First encounter, say you meet someone new, and you're interested. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, create the moment. You could say something like, hey, I really enjoyed talking with you. I'd love to get to know you better. How about we grab a coffee sometime? Simple, clear, and to the point. No guessing games, no wondering what you mean. You've expressed interest and now it's up to her to respond. Texting is a notorious pitfall for ambiguity. Instead of sending vague messages like what's up, or maybe we could hang out sometime, try something more direct. I had a great time last weekend. Let's do it again. Are you free Friday night? This eliminates the ambiguity and shows that you're serious about spending time together. In a relationship, directness isn't just for the initial stages, it's crucial in relationships too. Whether it's about planning your future together or discussing concerns, being direct is the key to maintaining a healthy relationship. For example, if something's bothering you, don't let it fester. Say, hey, I noticed we haven't been spending as much time together. I miss that. Can we figure out how to change that? Again, it's clear, respectful, and opens up a space for dialogue. Handling rejection? Let's say you're direct and the response is a no. First, kudos to you for putting yourself out there. Remember, rejection isn't the end of the world. You can respond with grace and maturity by saying something like, I appreciate your honesty. If you ever change your mind, I'd still love to get to know you better. If not, no worries. Take care. This shows that you're confident enough to handle rejection without taking it personally. Section 6, the long-term benefits of directness building lasting connections. Here's where it all comes together. When you adopt a direct approach, you're not just improving your dating life, you're transforming your entire outlook on relationships. Directness builds trust. It lays the foundation for real meaningful connections because there's no room for misinterpretation. When you're upfront, both of you know where you stand, and that creates a strong basis for a lasting relationship. Over time, you'll notice that the quality of your interactions improves. You'll attract people who appreciate your honesty and respect your straightforwardness. You'll spend less time on dead-end situations and more time building genuine connections. And let's be real, that's what we're all after, right? Directness also makes you more self-assured. The more you practice it, the more confident you become in who you are and what you want. You're no longer waiting around, hoping for things to happen, you're making them happen. And that's a powerful shift. You become someone who's proactive, someone who knows how to communicate effectively, someone who's not afraid to go after what they want. Let's wrap this up. The message here is simple but profound. If you want to improve your relationships, stop hiding behind mixed signals and vague intentions. Start being direct. It might feel uncomfortable at first, it might even feel risky. But the rewards are worth it. You'll find that by being clear and honest, you'll attract better relationships, experience less frustration, and build deeper connections. So, here's the challenge. Start today. The next time you're in a situation where you're tempted to play it cool or be vague, take the direct approach instead. Be clear, be confident, and watch how things change. If this video resonated with you, let's talk about it. Have you tried being direct in your relationships? How did it work out for you? Drop a comment below and share your experience. And hey, if you found this content valuable, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. There's a lot more coming your way, and I promise it's going to help you level up your relationships and personal growth. See you in the next video.